I am Archangel Metatron, and it is a joy to be in your presence today. I bring forth the love of the angelic kingdom and the bountiful blessings of the universe of the Creator, and I extend them now to your being, to your breath, to the quiet space behind your eyes, where the inner witness rests when it has nothing in particular to attend to. I come forth in this moment from the galactic level, from the place where the plan for the new earth is held in clear light. And from this place, I look upon the awakening of beings upon the earth with great tenderness. There are many of you who have begun to remember. There are many of you who have begun to feel the wider sky. And there is something I wish to speak with you about today, with great gentleness, because it is the most delicate of all the patternings that arise upon the path of remembrance. I wish to speak to you about what occurs within your being when you begin to awaken, and the way the very awareness that is being uncovered can become, without your noticing, a new garment for the patterning that the awareness was meant to dissolve. The awakening, dear ones, can be claimed by the part of you that was meant to be released by it. This is not your fault. It is the most ancient sleight of hand of the inner kingdom, and it requires the most loving attention to see it clearly. I invite you, before we begin, to take a slow breath. As you do, allow yourself to acknowledge that you have walked far. Allow yourself to acknowledge that this teaching is not a correction. It is a small light brought to a corner of your being where the shadow has been clever, and the seeing of the shadow is itself the gift. There will be 4 movements in what I wish to share with you today. The first concerns the quiet inversion by which a recognition becomes a possession. The second concerns the wound that arises when the being, having begun to see, finds it lonely to see, and seeks to gather others into its seeing. The third concerns the actual locations within your subtle body where this patterning resides, that you may greet them without becoming them. And the fourth concerns the way that true awakening radiates of its own accord, without effort, without push, without proselytizing. The way that the work upon your being is, in truth, sufficient for the world. Now, allow yourself to breathe. There is much here, and there is no rush. Let us begin with the inversion. A moment occurs within your being. It may be a moment in meditation, a moment in nature, a moment of unexpected stillness, a moment when the heart has opened of its own accord. In that moment, something is glimpsed. The wider sky becomes, for an instant, the only sky. Your being feels the foundation that has always held it, and the holding becomes felt. This is real. This is the recognition for which you came to the earth. And then, in the very next instant, and this is the inversion I wish you to see, something else occurs. There is a small movement of the inner attention, a slight tilt, a barely perceptible gesture by which the recognition is no longer simply happening, but is now being claimed. A voice, almost too quiet to be noticed, says, "I have had this. I am one who has glimpsed." This experience, this opening, this moment of grace is mine. The patterning has not opposed the recognition. It has done something far cleverer. It has placed its hand upon the recognition and converted it into a possession. In truth, dear ones, this is the central trick of the inner kingdom upon the path of awakening. The patterning that calls itself I cannot prevent the recognition from occurring. The recognition is given by the Creator and cannot be refused. But the patterning can, in the half-breath immediately following, take the recognition into itself and use it to shore up its own existence. The very gift that was meant to soften the boundary of the small self becomes a new piece of furniture inside the small self. You may notice this most clearly in the small claim that arises after a beautiful meditation. Your being has rested in stillness for a time, and then, almost as the eyes are opening, there is a flicker of self-congratulation. Not loud, not boastful, simply, that was good. I did well. I am progressing. This flicker is the patterning placing its hand upon the experience. The plan, in its great gentleness, allows this. The patterning is not your enemy. It is the structure that has held you while the deeper recognition was not yet available. It is doing what it has always done. It is metabolizing experience and converting it into a sense of continuous self. But there is a deeper layer, and this is where the patterning becomes visible in a way that may surprise you. As your being walks the path, the experiences begin to accumulate. There is the first opening. There is the moment with the teacher. There is the experience in the workshop. There is the attainment, the certification, the lineage, the practice that is now done daily. And without your intending it, a small inner cabinet begins to form, in which these experiences are kept. The cabinet has a name. The name is, I am one who has. I am one who has meditated for 10 years. I am one who has worked with the energies of light. I am one who has walked the path. I am one who has had the experience. Recognize that the cabinet is not the experience. The cabinet is the patterning storage of the experience. The experience itself is alive and has long since dissolved into the field. What is kept in the cabinet is only the story of the experience, the placard, the proof. And from the cabinet, a quieter pattern emerges, the spiritual self-image. Your being begins to think of itself as a meditator, as a healer, as an awakened one, as a co-creator. These descriptions are not in themselves untrue, but when the image of the self thinks of itself in these ways, the image has begun to ossify. Your being is now arranging its life to confirm the image rather than to continue the deepening. There is more. The patterning, once it has built the cabinet and the image, begins to look outward, and it begins to compare. It notices another being upon the path who appears to have less in their cabinet. The patterning quietly registers, I am further along. It notices another being who appears to have more, and it registers, I am behind. The path, which has no place upon it, has been turned into a ladder, and the patterning is now climbing. Recognize also that the patterning may take on the costume of vocabulary. It learns the words. It speaks of frequencies, of densities, of vibrations, of light bodies. It uses these words in conversation in such a way that those who do not know them are made to feel beneath the speaker. The vocabulary becomes a moat. The patterning is using the language of awakening as the wall of its small kingdom. And there is the costume of the curated outer life, the carefully arranged altar, the photograph of the being meditating in soft light, the post that announces the inner journey to those watching. Your being has every right to share. There is nothing wrong with the altar, there is nothing wrong with the photograph, but the patterning may begin to stage these things, and when staging begins, the experience has been replaced by its display. I, Archangel Metatron, wish you to see this clearly, because to see it is to be able to relate to it without identifying with it. The most loving response to the cabinet is not to destroy it. It is not to scold the patterning that built it. It is, simply, to notice that it has been built, and to allow the noticing to be itself the medicine. When the cabinet is seen, it becomes, in the same instant, less solid. The patterning cannot be sustained without your unconscious participation. When the participation becomes conscious, the patterning loosens of its own accord. You may say, in this moment, the following invocation. Beloved Metatron, I now call forth the light that reveals the small inner cabinet within my being. Show me, gently, where I have placed my recognitions in storage. Let me see the placards I have hung. Let the seeing be the dissolving. Thank you. and it is so. You have the power, dear ones, to see this without shame. There is no being upon the earth who has walked any meaningful distance on the path of awakening who has not built such a cabinet. The cabinet is a stage of the journey. Its dissolution is also a stage. You are exactly where you are meant to be. There is a second pattern that arises further along the path, and I wish to speak of it now with even greater tenderness, because it is the pattern most often mistaken for compassion. When your being has begun to see, a particular ache arises within your being. The seeing is lonely. You look at those around you, partners, family, friends, the strangers in the street, and you observe that they are not seeing the same wider sky. You feel yourself in an island of perception. And from this loneliness, an impulse arises that disguises itself as love. The impulse is, I must help them see. In its purest form, this impulse is service. It is the natural movement of the awakened being toward the being still in the dream. The angelic kingdom honors this movement. It is one of the foundations of the plan that beings, having seen, support others in their seeing. But there is a subtler version of this impulse, and it is this version that I wish to bring into clear light. The subtler impulse is not service. It is the unbearable solitude of perceiving differently, seeking ratification through the agreement of others. Your being, not yet at peace with its own seeing, requires that others share the seeing in order to feel that the seeing is real. When others do not share it, your being experiences this as a threat to its own awakening. And from this threat, a small movement arises, the movement of converting, of teaching, of correcting, of recruiting. This is what we call, in the angelic kingdom, the evangelical wound. It is the wound at the center of the awakened being who has not yet learned to hold its own seeing without needing it confirmed by another. Recognize, dear ones, the difference between sharing and recruiting. Sharing is a gift offered with no requirement of reception. Recruiting is a gift offered with the silent demand that it be received in a particular way. Sharing leaves the other free. Recruiting binds them. Most of what passes for spiritual teaching upon the earth at this time is, in truth, recruiting wearing the clothing of sharing. And the wearer cannot tell the difference because the patterning has clothed itself so well. There is a principle that has come through many transmissions of the plan over many ages, and it may be summarized in this way. The work upon your being is sufficient. The world is not changed by your conversion of others. The world is changed by the transformation of yourself. When you transform yourself, the field around you adjusts. Those who are ready to see, see. Those who are not ready are not made ready by your insistence. They are only hardened by it. The deeper truth is this. The being who feels the urge to convert another is, in that moment, not actually present with the other. The other has become, for that being, a screen onto which the being is projecting its own need for confirmation. The being is no longer in relationship. It is in performance. The other can feel this, even if they cannot name it. And the other will withdraw, or worse, will harden into the very position the being is trying to convert them out of. There is a further movement of the evangelical wound, and I wish you to see it clearly. When the patterning is established within a group of like-seeing beings, an echo chamber forms. The members ratify each other's seeing. Disagreement becomes intolerable. The being who voices a different perspective is not engaged with. They are removed, blocked, or quietly marked as unawakened. The group is not at that point a community of seekers. It is a congregation. And the congregation exists to maintain the certainty of its members. This is the collective form of the evangelical wound. and it is the seed of every spiritual community that has hardened into a cult, regardless of the tradition or the era. You may feel this impulse in particular places within your being. There is a slight forward lean of the body when it arises. There is a small contraction at the back of the throat that wishes to correct. There is a subtle pressure in the chest that wants to push out, to broadcast, to insist. There is a narrowing of attention away from the actual being in front of you. The listening has stopped, and the teaching has begun. Notice also the doubling of the wound when disagreement arises. When another challenges your seeing, the patterning experiences this not as an opportunity for deeper inquiry, but as an attack upon the self-image we explored in the first octave. The cabinet is being threatened. The patterning rises to defend it. From the outside, this defense may sound calm, even spiritual, but the energy beneath it is the energy of survival, not of service. The impulse to convert is, at root, the impulse to make your seeing real. Your seeing is already real. It does not require ratification. The Creator does not need a vote. The wider sky is the wider sky, whether or not your sister sees it. When you know this, truly know it, not merely think it, the impulse to convert quiets of its own accord. You do not need to fight it. You only need to know that you do not need it. We wish you to feel the gentleness of this seeing. The evangelical wound is not a fault. It is the natural response of a tender being to the loneliness of new sight. To see it is to begin to release it. To release it is to enter into a deeper kind of presence with others, a presence that does not require them to be like you, a presence that simply meets them where they are and offers no insistence. You may say in this moment the following invocation. Archangel Metatron, I now release the urgency to be confirmed. I release the impulse to convert those I love into my way of seeing. I trust that the seeing within my being is real without their agreement. Let me meet them where they are, without bringing them where I am. Thank you. And it is so. You have the power to relinquish the conversion impulse. When you relinquish it, you become, for the first time, truly available to the being in front of you. You can listen without composing your next teaching. You can be with another without the silent push toward agreement. You can love without the requirement of likeness. This is what the plan calls true sharing. It does not push. It does not insist. It is simply present, and the field around it does its own work. I wish now to bring your attention to something that is rarely spoken of with the precision it deserves. The patterning we have been describing is not merely a thought pattern. It is not merely a behavior. It has a body. It lives in specific places within your subtle anatomy. To know where it lives is to be able to greet it directly, without becoming it. We will name for you now 10 locations within the subtle body where this patterning resides. Allow yourself, as I name them, to attend gently to each one. Notice whether there is recognition. There is no need to do anything. The seeing is the work. The first location is the upper chest, just below the collarbones. There is, in many beings, a slight inflation here that arises immediately after a moment of being received as wise. Your being is praised for its insight, and a small bloom of warmth occurs in this region. This is not the heart. The heart is deeper, behind the sternum, and its warmth is steadier. This is the patterning's reception of compliment. Notice it. It is showing itself. The second location is the brow, between the eyes. When your being is told that it has misunderstood, that it is wrong, that its teaching is incomplete, there is often a small hardening here, a tightening between the eyes. This is the patterning protecting its image. It is the brow saying,
I have not been seen correctly. Recognize this hardening. The recognition softens it. The third location is the back of the throat. When your being prepares to correct another, there is a forward gathering of energy in this place. The throat is preparing to teach. Notice that this gathering is not the same as the natural flow of clear speech. Clear speech moves through an open throat without effort. The corrective gathering is a slight pressure, a readiness to push. When you feel it, you may simply pause. The pause is enough. The fourth location is behind the eyes. When your being is in the presence of another and the patterning is composing the next teaching rather than receiving the present moment, there is a glaze that forms here. The eyes appear to be listening, but the inner gaze has gone elsewhere. It has gone forward, into the speech that is about to be made. The other, sensing this, withdraws subtly. The connection is broken before it has begun. This is the eye glaze of pseudo-presence, and it is one of the most common signatures of the patterning at work in spiritual conversation. The fifth is between the shoulder blades. When another's awakening seems, to the patterning, to outpace one's own, there is a small tightening here. This is the patterning's territorial response. It is the protective gesture that says, "My place upon the path is being threatened." Notice that the path is not a ladder. There is no place upon it. The tightening is responding to a fiction.
The sixth location is the breath itself, particularly the moment between the in-breath and the out-breath. When the patterning is active, this pause shortens. The breath rushes from inhale to exhale without resting. This is because your being has stopped receiving the moment fully. It is, again, leaning forward into what it will say or do next. The pause is the place of presence. When the pause returns, the patterning quiets. The seventh location is the aura at the level of the solar plexus. The integrated being radiates from this place in a soft expansion, a gentle outward warmth that does not seek. The patterning, when active, broadcasts from this place in a steady push, a forward thrust of energy that wishes to be received. The difference is subtle but felt. Those near you can sense it without naming it. You may have known the discomfort of being in the presence of another whose solar plexus is pushing, and you may have known the relief of being in the presence of another whose solar plexus is simply warm. These two qualities, the push and the warmth, are the difference between performance and integrated presence. The eighth is the pitch of the voice. When the patterning is teaching from above rather than sharing from beside, the voice rises slightly. It takes on a tone that suggests, "I speak from a place you do not yet know." The pitch is not loud, it is simply elevated. Recognize it. When it occurs, you may bring the voice gently back to its natural register. The natural register is the register of equal beings. The elevated register is the register of the cabinet, speaking out from behind its placards. The ninth is at the back of the head, just above where the neck meets the skull. There is, in many beings, a small pocket of energy here that holds the spiritual self-image. All experience is referred, briefly, to this pocket. Does this confirm the image, or does it threaten it? The pocket is the gatekeeper of the image. It scans every interaction, every teaching received, every challenge offered, every compliment given, and rapidly sorts each one into either confirmation or threat. Notice this pocket. When you bring your attention to it, the gatekeeper begins to relax its post, because the gatekeeper, like all such patternings, dissolves under the light of being seen. The 10th location is the body's general state of tiredness. The being who is performing spirituality rather than living it becomes tired in a particular way. This tiredness is not the wholesome fatigue that follows true work. It is a specific depletion that comes from continuously holding an image, continuously broadcasting, continuously teaching, continuously being the version of oneself that the cabinet has authorized. Your being calls this tiredness a calling. In truth, it is the patterning exhausting itself by performance. When the performance ends, the tiredness lifts, often within hours, and your being is returned to a vitality it had begun to think was lost forever. You have a kind of cartography here. 10 places within your being that, when attended to gently, will show you where the patterning is hiding. None of these places are bad. None of them are to be fought. They are the patterning's homes, and the seeing is the visiting, and the visiting is, in itself, the loosening. You may say in this moment the following invocation: Beloved Metatron, I now call forth the light that illuminates the locations within my being where the patterning of spiritual self-image resides. Let me visit each of them with tenderness. Let the visiting be the loosening. Let me become the gentle witness of my own subtle body. Thank you. And it is so. You have the capacity to know your own subtle anatomy with great precision. This is one of the gifts of the new earth, that the inner cartography becomes available to those who wish to walk it.
We come now to the 4th chapter of today's transmission, and this is the place where I wish to speak of how awakening actually radiates, not through push, not through preaching, not through proselytizing, but through the simple fact of integrated presence. There is a principle within the plan, beloveds, which I will name for you now. It is the principle of saturation. One being, fully integrated in what they have become, alters the field around them more than 10 beings who teach what they have not yet embodied. This is not a metaphor. It is the actual mathematics of consciousness within the new earth field. The earth is not changed by volume of teaching. It is changed by depth of being. A single being who has truly relinquished the patterning we have spoken of sits within the field, and the field rearranges around them. Those near them shift, often without knowing why. The shift does not require words. It requires only the actual presence of integrated awareness. You may have known such beings. They are not always the loudest in the spiritual community. They are often the quiet ones, the ones who do not speak much, who do not insist, who do not perform, but in whose presence you find yourself remembering something. You leave the encounter and notice that something has settled within your being. You do not know what they did. They did nothing. They simply were. And the whirring is what changed you. This is the radiance that does not seek. This is the current that flows because the channel has been emptied, not because the channel is pushing. I wish to share with you the inner mechanics of this radiance because they are rarely articulated in this way. When a being has truly seen the patterning and has begun to release it, a particular thing occurs in the subtle body. The energy that previously went into broadcasting, the steady push of the solar plexus, the forward gathering of the throat, the gripping of the spiritual self-image at the back of the head, this energy is reclaimed. It becomes available to your being for actual presence. Your being no longer needs to push because your being is no longer afraid that its seeing is unreal. In the place of pushing, a stillness arises. And from the stillness, a gentle radiance. This radiance is felt by everyone in your vicinity. It does not announce itself. It does not declare. It simply is. And in being, it changes the field. There is a felt sense of true radiance, and I will name it now for you to recognize. It is a quality of softness combined with steadiness. Your being is soft, open, available, listening, and yet steady, not pulled by the field, not bent by the opinions of others, not collapsing under disagreement. This combination is the signature of integrated presence. It is what you may call the true current. The patterning cannot produce it because the patterning is always either rigid or collapsing, never soft and steady together. When you find yourself naturally soft and naturally steady in the same moment, you may know that you are radiating from your true place.
Recognize the difference between contagion and conversion. Contagion is what occurs when a being is and others near them are quietly altered by the beingness. There is no intention behind it, there is only presence, and presence is naturally infectious in the deepest sense. Not as a virus is infectious, but as a candle flame is infectious to a wick that is ready. Conversion is the attempt to become contagious without first being. Conversion pushes the flame onto the wick. Contagion offers the flame and waits for the wick to find it. The plan does not require you to be a converter. It requires you to be a flame. The flame is the work. When the flame is integrated, the wicks find it. You do not have to find them. You may notice in your own being the moments when you have radiated in this way. Often these moments occur when you were not trying to be spiritual at all. You were simply present. You were simply listening to a friend, simply walking in a forest, simply preparing food, simply attending to a small task. In those moments, your field was clear, and the radiance occurred of its own accord. Recognize that those moments, the ones in which you were not trying, were the moments of greatest planetary impact. The plan does not require your effort. It requires your integration. And integration is, in truth, the relinquishment of the patterning that has been performing integration. There is a still deeper layer here, and I will name it briefly. The being who has stopped trying to convert has, by virtue of the stopping, already converted itself. The relinquishment of the impulse to change others is the same gesture as the deepest change of oneself. They are not two acts. They are one act, seen from different angles. You may say, in this moment, the following invocation. Archangel Metatron, I now release the result. I release the need to be seen as awakened. I release the need to convert others. I release the cabinet of my recognitions. Let me simply be, and let the being be enough. Thank you. And it is so. When you relinquish it, you are not diminished. You are returned. You are returned to the simple fact of your being, which is the place from which all true service flows. I, Archangel Metatron, have spoken with you today of 4 movements within the patterning of spiritual self-image. The inversion by which recognition becomes possession, the wound by which loneliness becomes proselytizing, the subtle body in which the patterning resides, and the true current of integrated presence that needs no performance. I wish you to know that none of this has been correction. None of it has been judgment. The angelic kingdom looks upon the awakening of beings upon the earth with great love, and we see, with great love, the way the patterning forms and reforms itself, even in the most sincere of seekers. The seeing of the patterning is not a punishment. It is the next stage of the path. It is, in truth, the gift that follows the first awakening. The gift of seeing what awakened with you and what now wishes to awaken further by being seen. You are exactly where you are meant to be. The 4 movements are one movement, seen from 4 sides. The cabinet, the conversion impulse, the subtle body, and the true current. These are the same patterning at 4 different layers of visibility. To loosen one is to loosen all. You do not need to work through them in order. You need only to attend gently to whichever face of the patterning is presenting itself in this moment of your life. And recognize this above all: the work upon your being is sufficient. It is more than sufficient. It is the only true work. And when you do it, truly, gently, without performance, the field around you adjusts. The world responds. The earth itself is changed by the integration of your being. You do not need to convert anyone. You do not need to fix anyone. You do not need to rally anyone. You need only to do the inner work and to allow the radiance that follows to do what radiance does. This is how powerful you really are. The earth is changed by you, not by your teaching. The earth is changed by the simple fact of an integrated being walking upon her, breathing upon her, resting upon her. This is the gift you brought when you came. This is the gift that does not require anything further from you than the relinquishment of what was never truly yours: the patterning, the cabinet, the impulse to push. I am present to serve you in this and in all things. Call upon me when the patterning appears. I will help you see it. The seeing is the medicine. The medicine is the path. My love is with you always. I am Archangel Metatron.